The sun rising from the river, nature's miracle once more will light the world. But this light is not for those men still lost in an old black shadow. Won't you help me to believe that they will see a day, a brighter day, when all the shadows will fade away. That day I'll cry that I believe, that I
Hi everyone and welcome to another video. This is the Fragrance Enjoyer, and in this one I'm going to be talking about my newest acquisition from the house of Jacques. In this video I will be talking about SoudainL'Hiver. Now, besides my horrible pronunciation of the fragrance, the name roughly translates into Southern Winter, which is effectively what this creation is intended to smell like or invoke that kind of experience. From the very first encounter, basically captures the sharp, invigorating breath of the winter for me. It is a spicy, woody, green, earthy Fougere. So as you know already on my channel, I'm quite a big fan of Fougere fragrances, and lately green Fougere fragrances. The top notes of pine needle and cedarwood evoke the crisp air of a forest wrapped in frost, with the green resinous tones painting a very vivid and beautiful landscape. It is as if you're walking through a thick pine forest surrounded by snowy mountains and basically enveloped by the cold air of the winter. It's a beautiful scent, I have to say, and it is a scent that, even though it is a spicy green Fougere, comes to life in the colder weather. For me, if you're a fan of Fougeres and you're looking for a green Fougere fragrance to wear in the winter that can hold its own ground, this is a very, very suitable choice. As the fragrance evolves and continues to change on your skin, the heart of the scent reveals a very surprising softness. Both neroli and jasmine add a floral brightness, while rosemary lends a herbaceous clarity. If you are used to fragrances such as Torino 21, or if you are a gin tonic enjoyer, if you will, like I am sometimes, you will be feeling right at home with the note of rosemary. Okay, it is a very prominent rosemary. It sits on top of both the jasmine and the neroli, which are there to, as I mentioned, kind of evoke a welcoming warmth to the scent, but the rosemary is the most prevalent note when it comes to the heart notes. From a top to heart note transition, you're effectively smelling mostly pine needle and rosemary with a very subtle hint of jasmine and neroli, again giving that welcoming warmth in the middle of the scent. It's a beautiful fragrance. I think it starts off very fresh. It evolves constantly. For a couple of hours it will keep evolving on your skin, and it evolves from pine centric to rosemary centric, and then as an introduction to the base notes, it ends up on a frankincense mossy level. The dry down is where this scent becomes truly mesmerizing for me. Frankincense that is grounded by earthy moss with a touch of leather that adds depth and texture. The leather is not prominent. It is only there for the texture and the subtle masculine touch, if you will. But the star of the show for me is a combination of frankincense and moss. Together they create a sense of intimacy and quiet strength. This is something that I adore about the Jacques fragrances. They usually have a very masculine, calm, collected kind of vibe to them. Nothing is over the edge. Nothing is too prominent. Nothing is too dominant when it comes to the scent. The blending of Jacques, in my opinion, is pretty much the top of the fragrance game. So effectively, if you look at the scent, you are to kind of guide you through the journey of what you will experience when you wear this one. You're starting off very piney, very green, you can of course immediately detect the rosemary, which will become the prevalent note in the mid to the dry down section. Everything is supported by jasmine and neroli to add a little bit of the welcoming warmth and sweetness to the scent. And then at the bottom, as I mentioned, you get a very subtle touch of leather for the texture mostly, but the focus is on frankincense and moss. Beautiful creation. This fragrance can be the go-to winter scent if you like Fougere fragrances. Okay, it is basically an introduction to the beauty of the winter's solitude and introspection. As we are kind of entering the end of the year, what I usually do is I tend to look back at a year, take a look at what I've achieved, what I've done, what mistakes I've made, and how I can basically be a better man the next year. This scent puts you in a very similar mood if you want it to. The other mood that this scent puts me in is basically kind of an outdoors mood. Okay, so if you're out and about, if you're visiting Christmas markets, if you're traveling for business in the winter, if you live in an area that is reminiscent of what I've just described in the beginning of the video when it comes to the green pine forest surrounded by snowy mountains, if that is something that kind of speaks to you, I think this scent would be a beautiful choice to try out. When it comes to the performance and occasions, performance first. For a green Fougere that is supposed to be worn in the winter, it's very solid. Okay, it is a very solid scent. It's basically going to be giving you good projection and solid longevity throughout the day. On my skin, in my case, we're talking about 8 hours max. We're talking about the top notes being there for about 15-20 minutes. Then after 20 minutes, you're experiencing the transition to the heart notes, which are the most prominent part of the scent. Of course, there's an overlap with the base notes at some point, let's say maybe 2-3 hours, and then after 3 hours you're getting a very nice base note heavy experience with this scent. So again, frankincense and moss. When it comes to the projection, as most Henri Jacques fragrances, this is not a room filler. This is not a beast mode projection fragrance. If you're looking for that, I think you're looking at the wrong house most of the time, with a couple of exceptions. This is effectively a lingering aura fragrance. Okay, so this is going to give you a nice bubble, nice scent bubble around you. If you walk past someone, if someone is walking behind you, if you're sitting next to someone, if you're in a car with a couple of friends, they will all be able to detect your fragrance, of course, right? Needless to say, if someone gets close, obviously the fragrance will be amplified. However, I do have to mention, this is an oil concentration of a scent, so the closer you are to the source, meaning the closer you are to you, the more intense the fragrance will be. But if you are a fan of fragrances that leave a sillage, meaning if you walk past or when you move around the room, you carry this scent with you in a very subtle, professional way, this is the profile for you. When it comes to the occasions, I would say pretty much anywhere except a date night fragrance. I don't see this being worn in the evening in kind of a date night setting, unless you're outdoors on a ski slope and the other person is into green Fougeres, then I could consider this a date night scent. But if you are going to a traditional evening dinner or cocktail type of event, this is not the scent I would wear for it. It is too outdoorsy, it is too green, it is too herbaceous for it to be considered a scent like that. But anything else, in my opinion, you can wear it pretty much any day, anytime throughout the fall and winter seasons. Even doable if you are living in a climate that has colder spring seasons. So you can still wear this one in the spring if it's a bit colder outside. But other than that, definitely not a summer fragrance, and in my opinion, not a date night scent. Again, beautiful fragrance, basically very fitting to the name, suddenly winter, right? Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you have learned something new about a new fragrance. I hope you get a chance to try it out. So if you know this fragrance, if you know this scent, if you know anything that smells similar like it, let me know. I would love to try it out, of course. And also let me know if you've tried it and what you think about it. Thanks a lot for watching. If you want to watch more videos like this, subscribe to the channel, and I hope to catch you in the next one.